everybody. I'm BJ Flagg.
And I'm Rich G, and this is episode 283. Take charge of your brand CV.
That's right. We're going to have to do a little bit of explaining about this whole thing. First of all, curriculum vitae. Talk to me, Rich.
Yeah, your curriculum vitae is a Latin term that really means resume. CV is the European term, and they used to call resume CVs for years, but now it's resume and CV are pretty interchangeable. But we're talking about something that's slightly different. It's for business owners. It's a brand CV. It's something
Right,
where you're working with a corporation and they ask, could you send us a CV of your background? We want to see your entire history.
right.
And you,
And think about it from this direction. These gigantic corporations are laying off 11,000 people, 7,000 people. A lot of those people are the people that you interacted with. You need on the fly to be able to hand a brand CV over to a person who you've never met. And they have to, you're a moving train and you have to continue to help them. So the idea that whatever this document is, it's got to be up to date, current, and then also reflect how you work with that client. So
yes.
there's a lot of components to a brand CV that might not be in a regular CV.
Yeah, you need to sell a little bit too in your brand CV. You
Yeah.
have to make it a little more informal than a formal resume. So you need to be keeping up with your brand CV and keep it, recent, which acts as the base to your resume. Today, we're talking about the need to capture all your great talent for record. So when that
Yeah.
corporation does ask for it, you're not scrambling. You have one right in your file and you could send it off to them.
Exactly. And it's just fantastic to have the feeling that you could literally just send it to them right away. So it's awesome. So dig in, give us your first thought.
Well, the first thing we want you to do is begin with what you have. Okay, don't start with a white sheet of paper. It's
No.
scary that many entrepreneurs stop adding to their brand CV once they start working for themselves. This is
Yeah.
not where you want to be. Hopefully, you'll have a base to begin with, and even better, have a folder of all your past brand CVs and resumes.
And I just want you to find a quiet place with no distractions and read them. Does that sound crazy? But go back and read them and just read all the things that you did in your professional life, your, transitioning from corporate to personal, working for yourself, and just imagine the journey. I need you to kind of get inside your head because we're going to be asking you to pull data out. And that's going to be hard if you're distracted by everything.
Yeah, and reflect on your experiences. Look at your LinkedIn profile, all the different things, people that you've worked with. You are ready to dig in and get at it. Then take a look at your customer list too and review all the great things that you've done for them because you forget, wow, I did a whole series of workshops, or I did this, or I spoke at this conference, and you could put that all into your brand CV.
Yeah, we had a recent client come and say, do you have any bank experience? And I had said, not off the top of my head. Let me take a look. I had to go back, look at my brand CV and see, oh, I forgot I worked for so and so and did this and I did a panel and all of that kind of stuff. And I was able to go back with here's the 7 things that I've done in that financial industry.
Yeah,
Works out, definitely.
BJ and I have worked with hundreds of clients. Okay, hundreds. And when I mean hundreds, like not like 100, like 400 clients
Yeah,
in our career. You forget things. You forget, oh, geez, I worked with 5 different attorneys. I know how to work with attorneys and stuff. So
exactly.
what's our second area?
The second one is think of the buckets of your talents. So, don't think design right now. Just think content collection. What you need to do is really look at it from a chronological standpoint and then also look at it from your talent standpoint. This is a working document. You don't have to make it look beautiful. Remember, it's not your resume. This is kind of a representative of your path through your career. So I was joking with Rich earlier, and I said, this is going to have that Fortran, but you don't really need to tell everybody about the Fortran journey.
And nobody cares that you know Fortran.
Exactly.
That you've taken your clients or your customers from point A to point B. So the most important thing you could do right now is to capture as much of what has happened in your business and set yourself up to not let yourself get far behind on this process again. It's kind of like your taxes. You let them go, and then suddenly you're scrambling the last minute.
You're totally paying for it. And if you're a manager, you know what you're looking for. This is the funniest thing. You talk to managers, I don't know what to put. I'm going, oh my God, you know what you're looking for. You're looking for knowledge base, experience, managerial record, ability to view the wins and whatever unique talents that you possess. Those are the things that you really need to capture.
Yeah. And so often we get stuck only remembering the high points. We need
Yeah.
you to think of this as all the points, all the different points in your business, and to plug that into your brand CV.
Yeah.
The third thing we want to talk about is don't edit before you write. A lot of people just start writing and then they go back and, oh, that doesn't sound right. And it gets to be a whole mess, and then you just throw it away. Don't do
Right.
that. I will see people literally editing their experience as we're talking together. No, this is not revisionist history. You need to
Yeah.
capture the details, and to feel the urge to sugarcoat or embellish at this point, you need the facts. When you get to a point where you need to provide a brand CV or a resume or bio, you can edit your heart out, but we want you to tailor your message at that point.
Yeah. And, right, once you're ready to create that very tight CV, for instance, you'll have the ability to pick and choose the most relevant information for the present need. I
Yeah.
think people don't realize that difference. If you had this big working document that you could grab from, you'd be successful every single time. You just don't need to tell them certain things every single time. So relevancy becomes so important when you're taking and creating a super tight brand CV.
And the best part of having this overall document is you can see all the things you've done and not have to try to remember past experiences to pull together the bio or CV you need to hand over in an hour.
Yeah, because that's the pressure you're under every time you have to hand over something. Your future self will thank you. Absolutely will thank you. The straight facts at this point are perfect. And then you'll be in a great position to provide info and storytelling very quickly at another time.
Well, so what's our
So
fourth area?
set a process for collecting all your new data, all your new details.
Yeah.
We need to have a plan to collect all that information. Some people, me included, will look at it and update every quarter. I'll just get into my head, bing. I remember, I go through my calendar, I see all the different things. I'm reminded of what I've done for clients. And I find every quarter is pretty good pace for
Yes.
sure.
So I also suggest having the working document accessible so you can add on it on the fly. Have it as a file that you can access pretty quickly, open it up in Word or Pages, and just, like you said, BJ, review it quarterly. In the moment, capture the new data point or panel you were on. Then it's out of your head and you have it on your CV and you're all set to go.
Yeah. And, Rich and I, for instance, do a lot of personal, in-person events. And then Rich will do these major events where he's talking to a major corporation. And, those days all bleed into each other.
Yeah.
And, if you had another major firm who wanted to work with you, Rich would have that ability to just hand over that complete list right away because he's got it. And that's the easiest thing you can do for yourself.
Off the top of my head, BJ, you just saying that, I'm working with 3 corporations right now, and I haven't put their logos on my website. I haven't updated my CV.
Right.
And I'll forget about them. Because we get caught up in the work. So,
yeah.
I'm working on this presentation right now, which is kind of like a virtual CV, a brand CV that is in PowerPoint that I present when I'm talking to a prospect. I actually walk them through my background and have my testimonials and have my package, and how everything works. And it's only like 5 or 6 slides. It's
and here was the best part. We kind of said, challenged Rich, think of it in the numbers of it all, like an infographic. Think of it from that standpoint. Oh, okay. And he goes back and he looks at all the points and he's like, blown away at how many hours he has actually coached. Give it to me, Rich. Tell me the number of hours.
No, I can't do it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do it. 15 years, so 15 plus years coaching, 450 plus clients, and 22,000 hours of one-on-one coaching.
22,000 hours. If we remember back, what was the book? Not Blink.
No, but it was by Malcolm Gladwell, who talked about 10,000 hours to become an expert. I've got 22.
Yes.
So
I'm calling him my expert.
My new
sure.
expert.
Yes, so definitely.
What we want you to do this week is just pick one of these actions that we've talked about today and try it. Just try starting your CV. Begin building that larger document. This is for you and for your future self. Consider it your investment into your future.
Exactly. And wasn't much of a struggle to find a really good resource for you. This book by Donald Miller is hitting it out of the park. Building a story brand, clarifying your message so customers will listen. It is, I'm saying that we kind of went a different way with the resources, but it makes so much sense when you think you want to capture the theory of you and your brand. It is an awesome book.
Yeah, you're telling a story, and this book helps you develop a solution for business leaders face when they're talking about their business. It allows you to talk about your business in a story, and it's a wonderful. And Donald Miller just is an incredible author.
Stop it.
This is a great book. So
get it right now. You're going to absolutely love all the 7 stories he tells. They're phenomenal. So it's a good one.
And that's it for this week. You could reach out to me at richg.com, and you can find BJ at newrenew.com.
Thanks to our producer, Richard Scalzo, who's amazing.
And have an unbelievable week, and catch you later.